Have a seat, Camellia.
I thought so much about the talk that we had last week. And I've been praying to God to find out what he wants of me.
Good.
It was very difficult until I made my decision. It was even difficult a few moments ago with Joan, but I'm at peace with myself now. I know that I don't have the vocation to become a nun. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're disappointed in me, Reverend Mother.
You mustn't feel that, Camellia. There's no guilt in this decision. It could happen to anyone, and it does.
You're so kind.
Very few are chosen for the religious life. I see it as the will of God. And what is there now for you, my dear?
A life in the world.
Do you know what you'll do? Where you'll go?
Yes.
You've given real thought to your future.
Yes. It's going to be a wonderful one.
I'll pray for you. And may God bless you, my child.
Dear Edward.
Lila, darling, I was just enjoying a late morning cup of coffee. Will you join me?
No, thank you, dear. Oh, it's so good to see you resting and relaxing.
Well, doctor's orders.
And I'm glad to see you are following them. No work, no tension, no stress for at least another 2 weeks.
Of course.
And if you're ever tempted to think about work, darling, think about me.
I don't understand.
You don't want me to worry about you, do you? Darling, it was a very bad time for me when you were in the hospital. There were times when I thought I was going to lose you. It was unbearable.
Well, darling, you don't know how I missed you, even for that short stay in the hospital.
Well, it's not quite the same, dear. I thought I was really going to lose you.
Well, I suffered a great deal in the hospital.
So did everybody else in the hospital.
Oh, yes, Lila. Edward has a record of being the worst patient in General Hospital.
Really?
Really, he was a beast.
Oh, Edward, is that true?
Oh, well, we had to get a nurse to watch over him.
That wasn't a nurse. That was a zookeeper.
That was exactly the kind of person it took to look after a patient like you.
And we have got her on call at all times if you have a little feeling that you might be under the weather.
Right. Except next time we're going to equip her with a cattle prod.
Oh, Edward, is this the morning paper?
No. That's last
yes,
night's
it is,
paper.
isn't it? I see it. Well, you're back in the stock market, aren't you?
Oh, Father.
Look, I had a problem with my throat, not my head. I can conduct business with my hands tied behind my back.
Oh, Father, you have to watch out for your heart as well. You know, you are supposed to be free from any kind of pressure during your recuperation.
And your behavior at General Hospital didn't do your heart any good.
Look, will you stop hounding me? A happy frame of mind means a happy heart.
Did you ever hear that, Monica?
No.
Well, you've heard it now. You know, I'm happiest when I'm involved in a business deal.
Really? You didn't seem all that happy, sir, when Sean Donnelly took you to the cleaners.
That wasn't a business deal. That was a crime. And I'll thank you not to mention his name in my presence again, unless you want to hear a racing pulse.
Now, I understand that you're heading a very hush-hush project for HTI. Could you tell us what those initials stand for, Dr. Engstrom?
Helix Technogen Incorporated.
Helix? I've got that in my notes. Yeah, here it is. Helix? Yeah, okay. Now, what can you tell us about the research for this? We'll just call it HTI. What can you tell us about the research for HTI here in Port Charles?
Very little.
Well, I suppose it's technical, right?
Very technical.
Very technical. I see. Well, I think that our audience would like to know exactly the purpose of this research. You know, I think they'd also like to know, how do you keep that wonderful complexion of yours?
That has nothing to do with anything.
Well, it's just a little human touch we like to give.
Well, there's very little room for that in my research.
I see. Well, we'll just swing back to the work then. So, what are you up to?
Up to?
The purpose of the research.
Well, as you know, I'm a geneticist, and, I'm extremely grateful to the private sector.
This private sector now is the HTI, right?
Yes. For allowing me to apply technical theory to practical research.
Ah, this has to do with genes, right?
Well, I thought that was obvious.
Oh, well, Doctor, what is obvious to you as a professor is not always obvious to my viewing audience, myself included, actually.
Yes, genes.
Genes, great, thank you. Now, go ahead.
The possibilities are endless with a number of nucleotides on each chromosome. Oh, I see. It's exciting, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's ever so exciting, yes. So, what is HTI up to?
Up to? I don't understand what you mean when you keep saying up to. That makes it sound so nefarious.
Oh, we don't want that. No, we don't want, I'm sorry, we don't want that. Go on, please.
How can I describe my excitement in this project? Let's say it's like Galileo looking through the first telescope.
Galileo? Oh, Galileo, yes, I know exactly what you mean. That's very interesting. Thank you very much, Dr. Engstrom. You have just been listening to Dr. Greta Engstrom, whose academic credits include Caltech and MIT. This is Tiffany Hill for Women in the News. Oh, okay. You're out. That was very good. Thank you very much. Sean, hi. I didn't see you. I want you to meet my guest. This is Dr. Greta Engstrom. This is Sean Donnelly.
How do you do?
Mr. Donnelly?
Have you been in town long, Doctor?
For a short time.
Oh, well, if you're interested in seeing more of our fair city, I'd be happy to show you around.
Thank you, but I'm here to work, not to sightsee.
While you're here, would you mind doing a few publicity shots for us?
No, I'll be happy to.
Wonderful.
Excuse me. Doctor, the work you're doing for HTI, is that classified?
What do you mean?
My old trade, that meant secret.
Well, let's just say that our findings are very well researched before we publish them.
Excuse me. Please, do you mind? We really have to get the shots done. We'll be back.
All right, fine.
This way, please.
I'll take that, Mr. Donnelly.
Oh, I was going to bring it to you, Doctor.
Oh, I thought you were trying to read it.
Oh, no, I saw all that scientific material, and I wouldn't understand in the first place.
Is that so?
That's so. Well, that certainly didn't take long.
Well, Danny Akatali says it doesn't take long when you're photographing a perfect face.
No. Let me help you with that, Doctor.
Thank you, but I'm used to putting on my own coat.
No, I'm sure you are, but there are certain things that certain men are raised to do.
Well, I've got to be going. Thank you very much for your interest in my work.
Well, thank you very much for a stimulating interview.
Doctor, the work you're doing, is that a good business investment?
I'm a scientist, Mr. Donnelly. I don't know about such things.
Interested in learning?
Please, Sean, the doctor is in a hurry. Thank you very, very much. I will be in touch with you, okay?
Oh, boy, I feel like the Titanic just ran into the iceberg.
Well, you should have done what the Titanic failed to do, and that was slow down a little bit, you know what I mean?
Oh, come on. Are you accusing me of trying to hit on that woman?
Oh, you're genetically programmed to hit on every beautiful woman you see.
You know what attracted me to her? Her mind.
Her mind, her mind,
Her
her mind
mind.
was an iceberg. This is the worst interview I have ever had in my entire life, Sean. I kept trying to find a human touch, and there just wasn't one to be found.
She certainly doesn't give out much, does she?
Don't let that be a challenge to you.
Are you jealous?
Jealous? Huh? Don't flatter yourself.
Oh, I think we're going to have a little argument over Greta.
Greta, you know, she wouldn't even let me call her Greta. I asked her before the interview, I said, every time that I do a Women in the News, I would like to, you know, be us girls type of thing, you know? She says, that is not my approach. I mean, there I was, stuck with this brain and no charm. I mean, no charm. I think we've talked enough about this, Doctor.
For the moment, yes.
For the moment, forever. Thank you very much. So what brought you down here, my dear?
Oh, I thought it was time I'd tell you about that little surprise I have for you.
High time. What? What is it? What? Tell me. Yes!
You've got some calls coming in about the interview. Do you want to take them?
I better. Yes, I'll be right there. Thanks. Hold the surprise. Okay.